Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back once again to the Tanks World podcast. Today I will be talking about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Secret of the Ooze. I have a special guest today to help me, Protomet.
Where is he? I don't see him here. See, see over there? Oh, I think I see him.
Coward.
You come over here and you get it on this podcast. He was kind enough to invite you.
Yeah, even though you haven't brought me back to ours.
There's a reason for it. We just don't remember what it was.
Exactly. We'll figure it out, maybe. Maybe.
But yes, we are talking about the second Turtles movie.
Yes, the second Turtles movie, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, Secret of the Ooze. I almost forgot the title.
Oh, it's hot out.
I know, it's terrible out. It has reached, it's going to be one of the hot days here in our little hometown in Minnesota here. Would you like a water?
Oh, that would be very nice. And in the meantime, I will just start giving a recap of what happened in the previous movie.
Do it.
The Turtles, they got into a fight with Shredder and his Foot Clan. And Splinter showed up and won the fight because the Turtles couldn't do jack against Shredder. Yeah, that's pretty much all there is. I mean, who doesn't know what? Oh, hey, water.
High quality H2O.
Oh yeah.
Well, I guess it is to me. It is just faucet water, but still it works.
Yeah. It's refrigerated
Yes.
tap water.
Yes. So, are they all caught up?
I hope so.
Were you listening to anything he was saying while I was gone?
Stop ignoring me.
I know you're usually here for me, but I need a guess for this one.
But yes, this movie takes place like
Like
a week.
probably a week from after the like first movie. But when you said something the last time we watched this, actually yesterday, in the entrance of this movie, makes you really want to go to New York and just eat pizza.
No, the joke was that it shows everybody in like New York all eating a slice of pizza each, and and I was like, man, this really makes me want to have a bite of New York. No, I didn't actually say pizza because the joke was that there's so much pizza you'd think oh, I want pizza. It's like, oh man, I want New York.
Well, there is a New York style pizza.
I know. It's not as funny if I have to explain it, though.
No. So then there is a young man that is delivering pizzas, but then he encounters hoodlums stealing from a mini mall, maybe?
That's what it looks like.
And
This character is named Kino.
Kino, yes, Kino. And he, follows these people down these stairs as he's still holding the bag filled with the pizzas.
And he tells these guys that they are under arrest, and he manages to swiftly defeat them. And then all the other thugs come out of the other shops.
I just have to say, there are way more people in that shop and it looked like they had only one vehicle, and I don't think they could all fit. People all fit in that one van.
Oh, and one of the thugs, when Kino first confronts them, oh, this guy is so brilliant. He lifts up the stocking that's covering his face and addresses Kino face to face, and then pulls the stocking back down. It's like, you idiot!
Yes, the man was quite stupid, and then Kino royally whipped the crap out of him and two other guys, and like what Protomet just said, a swarm of other people, other criminals, just came out of the shop. And he's ready to fight, then the turtles show up.
Yep.
And title card.
And then they finish jumping.
Yep. Just like pause there for a second.
It is a fun fight scene, though.
Exactly. Just a bunch of hilarity. Okay, I just have to. Well, we'll just bring this up when we're done talking about the movie. We'll compare, do our opinions on if this one was better than the original or not. Or should we just get that out of the way now?
I'm just gonna come around and say it. I don't think this movie is as good as this first movie.
Oh God, no! I agree with you. It's just
It's a lot more slapstick.
yes, because I think I brought this up to you yesterday when we were watching it. I believe the first movie was more based on the comic books, where it's more
definitely,
violent,
while still having elements of the cartoon.
Exactly. This one's more cartoon.
Yeah, I actually looked on the wiki page for this, and apparently it pointed out that you rarely see the turtles actually using their weapons in this movie. It's mostly just like slapstick and punches and
Yeah, punches, kicks, like no weaponry at all.
well, they do use some weaponry, but what weaponry does show up is used very sparingly and not even really for fights.
No, like continue.
Mike's signature nunchucks. In this scene, he doesn't use his nunchucks. He just used sausages that are hanging at a sausage shop.
I can't deny I've done that as a kid, but then the sausage would go flying because they're not that strong. Then I had to hunt down that sausage.
And that's like the closest he gets to actually nunchucking.
Yeah.
I think we see nunchucks later on in the movie, but we'll get to that later.
I believe Donnie's the only one that actually physically uses his weapon.
That's because it's literally a stick.
Exactly. Mikey's is blunt objects, and Raphael and Leonardo's are stabbing weapons.
Yeah, most Leo uses his swords for tossing them up into the ceiling of one of the shops, then jumping up and grabbing on them and kicking the guy he's fighting.
His weight would pull them out, and he would have fallen on his ass.
If those things were stuck up there
and
secure enough to actually hold him, he would have needed help getting him down.
Oh yeah, it's hard to get things out of cement. And so the turtles beat them. And Mikey chases off, like the last one with the sausages. Oh, by the way, Raphael has wrapped Kino up in a blanket and put him in like a laundry bin thing.
Actually, I think it was a trash bin.
Trash bin? Okay. And he just he's trying to get out. So he's seeing the turtles fight all these bad people. He's just like, but he keeps sliding back in. Because gravity. Then Mikey helps him out, and
they leave, I guess.
They leave, and they also take the pizza.
Yes.
But they leave money, so they didn't just steal his. It was probably going to April's house anyway.
I'm pretty sure they ordered the pizza.
Mm-hmm. But I don't think they could have tricked the delivery person this time. Like in the first movie where it was, down here, dude.
A bit harder for that.
Yep.
But they head back to April's place because they still haven't found a new place to live since the events of the previous movie.
Yes. They do. Okay, they get back to April comes home. The turtles haven't come back quite yet. And she opens up her refrigerator and sees a rubber snake. And she gets startled. And she just names off all the turtles with all these different things. And she says, the rat is the cleanest one.
She's not wrong.
No, well, they're teenagers, and I'm guessing Splinter is an adult.
He's the one who acts the most like one.
Yeah.
Mostly because he's an old man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, if you're...
The turtles, they get back. They're all jovial.
Yep.
Kind of poking fun at the fight with Shredder.
Mm-hmm.
So they were the ones who fought him. And Splinter's like, you stop that. Stop being so goofy.
Exactly. He's like, you get away from there.
Stop shouting out the window. Also, Uh, surprised that April has a new apartment.
Yeah, well, it did. Her original one kind of burned in the first one
Yeah.
with the shop.
Yeah, I'm wondering how long did it take her to find a new place?
Well, she is human.
I mean, probably not that long.
No, and she's a reporter, so she probably could afford it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, that's a minor nitpick at
No,
best.
exactly, and it seems like a nice little apartment
Yeah. Yeah.
with, well, they are messy turtles.
Yes.
Just piles and piles of pizza boxes. So I'm guessing all their meals are just pizza.
pizza.
Pizza. And I'm not gonna deny, I like pizza, but I think I would want to switch to something else after a while. But then, Splinter tells them that we don't belong above.
Because they're mutant turtles. And
Yeah.
They can't really integrate with society, so they need to find a new home at some point.
Exactly. And Michelangelo asks him, is even pizza?
Well, pizza's okay.
It takes him a little bit to reply because I think he was surprised at the question. Pizza is okay.
Oh, thank goodness.
Then April tries to give them napkins, and they're like, "What for?" And she just throws them in the air, and she's like,
frustration.
just like, forget it. And I believe this is a new actress playing April.
I think it's the same actress. I can't confirm that without looking it up.
I know, but
I think it is the same actress.
but okay, now we're done at April's. We are now at a junkyard.
And something crawls out of the garbage.
Mm-hmm.
And while it is pretty buried, that's about the average weekly garbage load. So
Of New York City. Yeah.
But yeah, it's hinted at being the Shredder and later revealed to be the case.
Yes, so before Shredder returns to the shack, I can't think of his name, his grunt, his second in command.
Tatsu?
Yeah, Tatsu.
But we'll get to that in a little bit because it jumps to the next day with April talking about talking with some scientist dudes who are cleaning up some biological contamination that's happened in the area from a company called TGRI, which is based on TCRI from the comics.
Mm-hmm. So they're, cleaning up the mess, and they encounter giant dandelions?
Yes. And one of April's interns or whatever, co-workers, finds the dandelions and heads off, and
gives it to the Shredder.
oh, what's the scientist's name? I can't remember. Peter something? Maybe that's the actor's name.
Scientist guy.
Yeah. I'm a little disappointed that they didn't decide to adapt the TCRI storyline from the comics. But to be fair, that one is crazy.
Oh yeah, and I don't think that would fly.
not at this point in Turtles.
No.
Like, it definitely could have been adapted into a cartoon miniseries.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Because that involves humanoid robots with brain-like aliens in their stomachs, teleportation, Tyrannosaurus or Triceratops people, runaway robots, teleportation. It's crazy.
I know what he means. I have read it. It is. It's okay. I'm just gonna say it's a mind fuck.
It is crazy.
It's like
fun.
Oh yeah, I loved it. But it's just like, whoa, too much stuff going on.
Basically, long story short, they could have had a good way of introducing Krang, and they didn't.
Exactly. They could have introduced Stockman.
They could have introduced Stockman.
I'm just saying, because he's kind of a scientist type. But,
Yeah, but they needed a scientist who's not a
bad
outright
guy.
bad guy.
Yeah. So they...
So anyway, April's co-worker goes off with the giant dandelion and reconnoiters with his secret group, the remnants of the Foot Clan.
Very, very little remnants of the Foot Clan.
Also, Tatsu's there. I would have assumed he would have been arrested already at some point, but I guess
Well,
not.
I believe, unless he was able to fight off the cop.
Either that or he regained consciousness and fled before the cops did show up.
Yeah, maybe. But
I think they did leave him at the hideout, so...
Yeah. I believe he comes in freaking out, destroying a bunch of stuff, and says, now I'm going to be your new leader. Anyone disagree? I challenge.
Yeah, some dude shows up and challenges it. Turns out it's Shredder, as we already figured out.
Exactly. I still wish he would have showed up with with some garbage just on his spikies.
Yeah, it was fine enough that all his Shredder not blade pieces were all bent up.
Mm-hmm. Then
He workshops a new helmet.
yes, and much more Sharpie looking.
It definitely looks a lot more serrated.
Yes.
By comparison, while also trying to come up with deciding to plot to use whatever mutagen there is that mutated the dandelion to make his own mutants,
Yes.
a la the cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
Except we don't get Bebop and Rocksteady,
That shows up in a Michael Bay movie.
unfortunately.
Yep. Then the scientist guy is at TGI Fridays.
TGRI, but
Yeah. that was it was purposely.
let's keep going with that then. TGIF.
Oh jeez. So he's getting rid of the mutanogen or the ooze or whatever you want to call it. They're down to one, and then Tatsuo shows up, just grabs it, and the Foot just kind of kidnap him.
I think before that, maybe it is after, but anyway, the turtles show up and they get into a fight with the Foot.
Mm-hmm. Wrong pipe.
I think at one point they get back to I think before that they go back to April. The turtles are at April's apartment, and then
I believe they're cleaning.
because they know that they can't stick around, so
No.
they're going. No, never mind. That happens a little later. Never mind. I'm getting. It's harder to remember when stuff happens in this movie.
Yes.
But that might just be me.
It could be. Then there's
Fight at the TGRI building.
yes.
Which is a dumb fight because
It turns into a football game.
basically. And there's one point where the turtles just huddle up to come up with a plan, and the Foot just stick around to let them do that.
Exactly.
Like I was
Like Ninja Vanish.
like
It happens eventually.
Yeah, just not right away when it would be an opportune time for them to just hoof it.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, we got to get a fight scene where the turtles do fairly competently because they're the heroes.
Yes.
But realistically, those Foot would have been out of there
Oh yeah.
so fast.
Then I believe they go back to April's, and I believe they're searching for a new home.
Yeah, because now that they know that the Foot is back, they don't want to endanger April by sticking around. So,
Yeah.
and then the doorbell rings, and they all hide.
Yep. And it's Kino.
Who basically is like, hey, I got this pizza, but the guy who ordered it isn't in his apartment, so I figured since you are ordering all these pizzas, I figured I'd deliver them to you. Also, stepping on Michelangelo's foot,
Raphael's.
I'm pretty sure it was Mike's foot.
No, it's Raph.
Okay. Stepping on one of the turtles'
Yeah.
feet, knowing full well he's there because it was just sticking out.
Yep. And just,
It's like, I knew it.
Let me hurt him. Let me hurt him.
ultimately ends up happening is that I think Kino has information on where the Foot might be
Okay.
recruiting or something.
Yes. But before that, okay. Why does everybody faint when they see Splinter?
Because giant bipedal humanoid turtles, they can handle that. I've seen that in cartoons all the time. But rats that look like animatronics, not so much.
Animatronic puppets, not so much. Then,
yeah, it's another case of the Splinter costume just being a puppet.
Yep, just like
costume.
ooh, boom.
Oh, speaking of the costumes, the Turtles costumes in this movie are not as good as they were in the first movie.
Gosh, no. Just wait until we watch the third one.
Oh God.
It's they just look like shit.
And then the TV show.
That's okay. The third movie is way better than that one.
By far. And no, we're not talking about the 80s cartoon. We're talking about the live action show.
Exactly. The live action.
But that's a topic for another channel.
Oh God. I got through it, but I struggled so hard.
And it's canon to these movies, apparently.
Yes. Then, okay, so now they're down in a sewer looking around. Leo and Raphael get into an argument.
And Raph takes off.
Yep.
And Mike finds a new place.
Literally by talking and walking, and he falls into this huge hole.
And at first they're worried. Until it's like, hey guys, you gotta come down here. This place is awesome.
So they pretty much find an abandoned old
Subway station.
So yes. And literally honestly it works.
It comes back for the next movie.
Oh yeah.
Unlike Casey Jones.
Yeah. I wish Casey was in this movie. It'd be a little more interesting.
A little?
A lot more.
Yeah, this movie could have really benefited from having familiar Turtles characters.
Yeah.
And while a good chunk of them do, it's really only the main cast.
Yeah, the Turtles, Splinter, Shredder, and April.
This movie could have been a fantastic opportunity to bring in, Bebop and Rocksteady.
Yes.
They didn't.
No.
Would have been a fantastic way to introduce Krang. But they didn't.
Stockman. But they didn't.
Just about any other mutant that has showed...
The mechanical turtle.
They could have done that. Chrome Dome.
Yes, Chrome Dome.
I think that one's Chrome Dome.
The crocodile guy.
Oh, King Croc?
Yeah.
I don't think that's...
No, wait, no.
I can't remember.
I can't remember. But there were so many good characters from the cartoon they could have brought to the movie.
But instead, we get...
Shredder again. And foot soldiers.
And Tatsu.
Tatsu's good.
Tatsu's allowed.
Yes. He kind of reminds me of a character in one of the later Turtle series. His name's not Tatsu, but he kind of gives me that vibe. He kind of wears a gi just like him, and he is technically Shredder's right-hand guy.
I think that's a Yutaka.
A Yutaka?
Yeah, not a gi.
Kind of. He's got a scar on his face. I don't know. That's... So...
You take that back.
You're kicking me out again, aren't you?
Yes, and it's to the point where it's even your own room. Get out. Go on.
After I finish up this podcast.
So anyway, Shredder. They have the scientist. They use him to use the mutant gen
on a snapping turtle and a wolf that they stole from a zoo, apparently.
And they mutate into a big humanoid creatures, Toka and Razar, and they are stupid.
They be dumb. They're babies!
Babies!
They are stupid. He's like, no, they're not stupid. They're infants. All right, they're stupid infants. But
All right, they're stupid infants. All right, I'm gonna kill them. No, wait, no, hold on.
they have other attributes as they're both lifting up forklifts.
Okay, I won't kill them just yet. This time.
He goes, I guess I could use them.
So, like, the next day, Raph is working with Kino, who's infiltrating a Foot Clan recruitment drive of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
And Raph's helping Kino to ace the exam.
Like, he beats this guy, but beats up this guy, and then all of a sudden he's got to do the bell test. Not the one from Naruto. It'd be funny if he had to do that one. But you have to grab bells and without making a sound.
And a whole bunch of them. And Raph really helps him out on that.
Well,
It's like, after the smoke clears and 15 seconds are up, Kino's like,
just hold. Is this enough?
A huge armful of bells. He's like, is this enough?
He's like, you passed, jeez. Like, I think there was nothing left on the mannequin.
None. Unfortunately, their luck eventually runs out.
Yes.
And Kino's allowed to escape.
But Raph tries to fight off several hundreds of foot members.
As though that worked out so well the first time that happened.
He got put into a fucking coma.
Yeah. At least he fared better this time around.
Yep. They just captured him.
The other turtles invite April down into the subways to hang out.
Yep.
Kino somehow gets there. I don't know how.
Yeah. Well, Kino goes to April's apartment. Then April finds him in the parking. Ringing her doorbell and stuff like that. And then they go down to the sewer, I believe.
And then the turtles head to the junkyard to save Raph, and Donnie pretty much immediately realizes, hey, this is a trap. Also, we are now in it as it's being sprung.
Yep.
Yay.
And they're like, they're all saying different goofy things while they're in the net. Just like, hey, get your hand out of my, get your armpit out of my face or some weird jargon like that. But, they are teenagers.
Yeah.
So then Splinter shoots them down.
Because they're up in like a net, and
they're being,
Tatsu is using a crane to move them over to a bed of spikes.
Like, literally every sharp thing you could find in a fucking junkyard.
Pitchforks sheared off, sharpened, eye bars.
Yeah, tin pointed upward.
Ugh.
Just like, ouch. Then Splinter, shoots them down, and then they fight.
And that just reminded me of the fact that Splinter's toy came with a bow and arrow.
Yep. And he never
used it in the cartoon.
I was just about to say that. You stole my line, you fucker.
Look, once I find what I'm looking for, I'll get out of your head.
All right.
No, I'm kidding. I'm living here forever.
All right, you're gonna have to pay rent then.
Anyway.
Yep. All right, so they fight off the foot. Then Shredder yells out, "Toka, Reza!" and a side of a building just falls over. So these guys just wander out.
And the turtles do not do very well and are forced to retreat into the sewers when they find an open manhole cover.
Yep. Miles home.
I figured.
Yes, so they do try to fight them, but they get chucked around. Then they find out, like you said, they find a manhole cover.
But Donnie does find the scientist dude.
Oh yeah, after he got thrown.
And while the scientist is quite grateful for being rescued, he does have to do a double take as to who it is that's rescuing him.
Yes, it is quite a large bipedal turtle wearing my purple mask.
Wait, what?
Mm-hmm. It's like,
I think I need to sit down for this. You're already sitting.
Shut up.
Well, then I need to sit down even more.
Then they're down back into the den, I guess, and they're talking about how they possibly got mutated and et cetera, et cetera. And Donnie kind of takes it hard.
Yeah, because basically a scientist reveals that the mutagen was just kind of a fluke, an
Yeah.
accident.
Mhm. Yeah, like,
There's no way he could really replicate it.
no.
Because it was an accident. And Donnie is like, wait, so we're a mistake?
Yeah, he was kind of taking it kind of rough, but
I mean, it'd be one thing if this were the movie that actually revealed the origin of the turtles, but we've already seen the origin of the turtles so many times, even prior to this movie.
oh yeah, just like, oh, there.
So it's not like it's something special, but I guess Donnie was hoping that
it was
like fated or something.
yeah.
Like there was some grander scheme, and it's like, just no.
Nope, nope. Just,
And Splinter has to basically give him a talk. It's like, hey, it doesn't matter how you were born. What matters is that you were born and what you're doing now.
yes, and he's they had Splinter to kind of teach them to be kind and to be like respectful and teach them martial arts and all that good jazz. And that's how they're different between Toka and Razor, who are child psychopathic mutants.
But they do manage to escape from the junkyard, as I said, and
Yep.
they worked with the scientist and Kino to come up with a retro mutagen,
Yes.
an anti-mutagen to try and deal with Toka and Razor.
And then they put them in donuts.
Well, what happens is that they have all this stuff that is incredibly smelly.
Yes.
Kino even had a hard time getting them on the subway in the first place.
Yeah, then they...
And unfortunately, this anti-mutagen needs to be taken orally.
Yes.
It needs to be ingested. It's like, oh
no. Yep, just like, how are we going to do it? I got an idea, Mikey says.
Oh, and that's after Shredder has Toka and Razor go out and
Oh, yeah, this just
mess up one of the streets in New York.
And then there's
knocking telephone poles.
yeah,
and
there's like a couple just trying to get into a taxi, and there's like there's animals over there taking down the telephone poles. What if they come over here? Just like a Boston or New York accent, this lady just says, "Let them get their own cab." And they get in the cab and drive off.
Well, it's definitely a New York accent.
Mhm.
From New York.
From New York. And then...
And that's just Shredder's way of saying, hey, you know that Toka and Razor exist. Here's all this damage that they can cause. Come fight us.
Yes, pretty much. And they tell... one of the Foot tell April to tell the Turtles that...
Also revealing, hey, I know I'm your coworker, but also I'm a Foot client. Go tell the Turtles.
Yep, pretty much. They accept the fight, but they need... Wait, now they get... I believe they start making the...
Yeah. Like I said, I get so confused as to when stuff happens in this movie.
Oh, it's alright, bud.
It's not as clear cut as it was in the previous movie.
Yeah, it's like...
Previous movie was way better.
Yes, but this one's not bad.
It's not bad. I mean, I've seen worse.
Oh, God, yeah. We've both seen worse. Plenty of the kaiju films we've watched.
I was just speaking strictly of turtles, but yes.
Oh, yes, and well, yeah, there's some bad turtle movies out there. Then, yes, so they're making all this stuff, and then Michelangelo sneezes and a pizza slice falls in, and then Donnie just kind of tries to grind it up. I guess it made it pepperoni flavored then. So then they end up in not a factory, like a thing that's kind of a building that's being built or something next to it.
Construction site or something?
Yes.
I don't know.
And there's a bunch of foot soldiers around on every layer of this thing, and it kind of reminded me of an arena of like a gladiator arena.
Yeah, because the foot are clearly there to watch the show
Yes.
of Toka and Razor just tearing the turtles to pieces.
Yes, and
But they offer a bit of a peace offering first and give the two mutants donuts.
yes.
Unfortunately, when they go for their when Razor goes for his second donut, he notices the ice cube. It's like...
He's like, what's this? Break.
I'm assuming that they didn't notice the ice cubes the first time, because there's no way that they got that into their systems with a second method.
Yeah.
Because
so then the fight happens,
and it ends up spilling into a nightclub where Vanilla Ice is performing, and this is the most early '90s scene in the entire history of history.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Like if
yeah.
if somebody were to ask, what were the early '90s like? You just show them this scene.
Exactly. The
Like,
Ninja Turtles and Vanilla Ice.
and that color scheme of blue and pink.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely. Just like no other colors. Just blue and pink. Just like little strobe lights just going around.
And it's a fight scene in the middle of the dance club. Everybody in the club is enjoying it. Vanilla Ice comes up with a new song on the spot. The manager wants the police called because there's a disturbance. But then when he sees that the audience likes it, it's like, "What are you doing? No, don't call the cops."
The police. What are you doing? She's like, no.
They love it.
They love it. Oh, okay. Never mind. They love it. It's just when this fight actually happens, it's probably by far one of the funniest fight scenes ever in like movie history, because they're fighting. Turtles are fighting a giant snapping turtle and a giant wolf as Vanilla Ice is performing a song.
And an audience is watching on. It is the best scene in the entire movie.
Oh yeah. And okay, they have to use like THC or
fire extinguishers.
Yes, to
Load up Toka and Razor with CO2 because they're burping, which is
an after effect, or not an after, like
it's part of the process of the anti-mutagen working, but because they're expelling the CO2, it's causing the mixture to not work as well, so they need to pump them full of CO2.
Yeah.
So they manage to knock the two on the ground and just
force the
shove
whole
fire extinguishers into their mouth.
And just spray a little bit, I guess, and then they take naps, and I guess it reduces them to little babies.
It demorphs them, so they're
Yeah.
just a snapping turtle and a wolf.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with all the junkyard pieces just kind of laying around.
Yep. Then Shredder comes.
Then the turtles go up on stage, and everybody's having fun. And then Shredder's like, "No, kicks down an amp. Is like, I'm here now. Also, I'm taking this lady hostage. Also, I've got I've got some of the mutagen left."
Mm-hmm.
After Kino manages to knock the whole canister out of my hand, I've still got like this test tube. I'm gonna put it on this lady, but.
Yep, and then they crank up the bass, and the power of the bass makes Shredder go flying.
And he falls through a dock or something.
Yep, so they go out there and
they think they've defeated him, so they go on their dock to celebrate. And then Shredder, who is now
Super Shredder,
tears down the dock, pulling them under, and just starts knocking over beams while they're under the dock. And this is a cool scene, but one that doesn't make any goddamn sense. If you actually
the
think
muscles
about
I can understand. The blades and the spikes? What the fuck?
Like so many new blades just sprouted up all over him.
Like his helmet mutated.
His shoulder. He didn't even have shoulder pads before. Okay, he did, but they didn't have huge friggin' spikes.
Yeah, this is like Mad Max level shoulder pads with spikes on it. Like, but more.
Like if Lord Humongous actually had some dignity.
Nope, he just had shame. We still got to do that one yet.
Yeah, we did do that one.
Yeah, I mean
The third one, yeah.
Beyond Thunderdome.
Yeah, at some point, yeah.
Yes.
If we can get there.
Yeah, we'll get there eventually.
Maybe. I can't guarantee that considering how slow it's been lately.
Yeah, but
It's picking up for the Halloween season now.
yes, it seems that way. And I'll be happy to join you three on the Halloween one.
Yeah.
So, pretty much Shredder is tearing down every beam in sight. Still don't understand how that works or how the spikes get so huge. But
Ultimately, Shredder basically knocks the dock down onto himself, and the turtles manage to make it to safety. And
because they're turtles and they can swim.
And they spot that Shredder's hand coming out of the rubble, but then immediately falling limp, thus meaning that he is dead, and not, just simply unconscious.
I believe he's probably if they,
For all intents and purposes, he's dead because
Yes.
this is the last time he shows up in anything Turtles related, or at least with regards to the movie continuity.
Yes. Then the turtles, go back to the turtle lair.
Splinter's like, Splinter, who had just gotten done watching a news report in which a scientist left a message thanking the turtles by name,
Leonardo,
which April has read on the air.
which is just like,
Splinter turns to the turtles and is like, "So,
You
did
did-
anybody see you?"
no, we practice ninjutsu. See, like hides, whoop. Shows him the newspaper of them posing like with Vanilla Ice, I believe, on the cover of
First
the news.
off, how did that picture get to the news printers, get printed on the news, and then delivered to
On the-
Splinter before the turtles made it back to the sewers?
That's a good question. That is a good question.
And one that the movie doesn't decide to answer because he tells them to do flips, and then the movie's over.
And then decent music
pretty
played.
good music. I think. Also, I guess there's an environmental message according to the music from. I don't know.
Well,
I don't know.
good been. Yes, so that was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2: Secret of the Ooze.
Yeah,
Um,
very campy.
yes. I like this movie, but like we said earlier, I do prefer the first one.
I think I watched this quite a few times when I was a kid, but I hadn't actually watched it for like a few decades.
Yes, and now
prior to when we watched it yesterday. So
it's okay.
it's okay.
But it's like I don't hate it.
I still prefer the first movie though.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with this movie, but the first one.
Oh, there's a lot wrong with this movie, but at least it's fun.
Yes, exactly. It's fun.
So I'm able to forgive what's all wrong with it for the most part because it's fun.
Yes, they could have definitely used the Casey Jones. They could have used a lot.
They basically swapped out Casey Jones for some new guy who wasn't even getting a toy, so why even bother? I mean, at least Toka, Razor, and Super Shredder got toys.
Yeah, they did. This,
Granted, who would want to buy a Pizza Boy toy? Me?
I would. Honestly,
But that's besides the point.
if he came with his little motorcycle, delivery cycle, it'd be great. Little moped.
Yeah.
And, yeah. So, till next time, I've been Tank.
Bye, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here. Hopefully you heard me better this time.
Yeah, last time he was a little too far away from the microphone.
Yeah, we're still trying to figure stuff out
Yes.
with regards to the mics.
Yes.
Hopefully by the next time,
Mhm.
we'll have figured stuff out.
All right. So long, guys.
Bye.